Welcome back. It's 40 Lions and Flea. You can't escape us. I'm
No.
sorry, but we're here to present dooi versus Effortless. Flea, how do you feel about this one?
I'm feeling good, dude. I'm feeling good. We juke chat saying we're gonna go to a break, and bam, we're right back. Same two of us. But yeah, this is an interesting matchup. dooi versus Effortless. These players, a bit of a history for them. I'm gonna let you break down that bit of a storyline, but I am excited for this one.
Yeah, so interesting little fun fact. dooi actually beat Effortless in the head-to-head. That's what sent Effortless into the relegation match. So this could be a bit of a revenge for Effortless as he has an opportunity to knock out dooi from the tournament.
Yeah, absolutely. That sweet, sweet revenge. Now, Effortless, of course, he managed to hang on to his spot, staying in the Quake Pro League after beating Supreme GTI pretty convincingly too, 3-0. Effortless, of course, known for his beautiful Santa hats. Haters, for some reason, were calling it fake. Clearly, it was
They just
right
don't
on his...
understand.
They're out of date with fashion, that much is clear. But yeah, dooi versus Effortless, two very conflicting styles, I feel like, right? dooi tends to not really go for the frags. He likes to keep it a close scoreline, but play much more positionally and only go for the games or the engagements that he feels very comfortable with. Whereas Effortless, of course, tends to be a bit more of an aggressive, in-your-face kind of player.
We're live now as we have Effortless versus dooi. It's going to be Ranger and Athena. Deep Embrace. Should be jam-packed for this first one. A little bit of LG right off the bat here as Effortless does have the Dire Orb in the back pocket. Might use it to finish off the frag if he could do enough damage, but that rail from dooi right in the face of Effortless, pushing him back, stopping any kind of aggression that may occur. A little bit of shotgun from around the corner. The rockets from dooi are strong. He's going to miss with the follow-up rail. The tri-bolt from Effortless just getting a little bit of damage, and the Dire Orb actually does come through. 40 HP left on Effortless, and he hits him with the Haru to get the first frag.
That was quite a juicy orb, right? Usually you would expect those coming out of dooi, of course known for his incredible Ranger orb, especially back in the day when they could still one-shot anyone. This tri-bolt though, hello, Effortless! Reading dooi perfectly as well, knocking her off that zip line. Can he finish this up? Both players pretty low, good defensive rocket. Effortless though, lacking quite a few important weapons. Doesn't have rockets, doesn't have rail. Does he even want to go for Mega? I think he is going to leave it up and instead just go for Heavy instead. As dooi, leaving Mega too. Quite a bit of a delay. Hang on, Effortless! Just sneaks right on by with the orb. dooi was holding down the route over to the item, but Effortless just completely bypasses that with visibility.
Wow, had the VIP pass with the orb there, and he's like, excuse me, this is my Mega. 2-0 for Effortless here. As if the Texas fam is in chat, make some noise. Effortless versus dooi. One of these players will have to get out of the tournament bracket. This is end of the line for somebody here, so a bit of a heartbreaker, but the war wages on here. Effortless looking for another frag. There's an opening rail opportunity missed. dooi extremely weak, no armor. He finally gets in on the heavy, but at what cost? The rocket's actually fantastic from dooi. Can he finish? And yes, he can. That last one plants him, puts himself on the map with a frag.
Really strong showing. That rocket is flying sky high, won't connect with anything but air. Effortless actually a bit of a click sound right there for a moment. Or dooi rather, what am I saying? Shoddy on shoddy, and again the orb.
God. Everything is bigger in Texas, especially these Dire Orbs coming out of Effortless, giving dooi a little bit of his own medicine here. And dooi not afraid, pushing off the spawn with the shotgun, getting that refrag, keeping it close.
This is a brawl, dooi. Or dooi, what am I saying? This is a brawl, 40.
It's true. It's true.
Indeed, a brawl. Heavy machine gun coming out. dooi doesn't have the railgun just yet, so he's got to content himself with that weapon instead. Finally picks up the railgun. Rockets should be going to him as well, unless he favors the items over the weapons for the time. Loving the Effortless play right there though, clutching the pillar, doesn't want to show his face at all. dooi is just going to completely leave the heavy up. What an aggressive, ballsy play. He left heavy up for basically a full cycle, 40.
Yeah, really ballsy. Needs to be careful here. There's the Dire Orb after the Mega pickup, just for misdirection. Effortless doing more damage before making his getaway. Well, actually, he's going to grab shotgun and Dewey's trying to figure out exactly which way he went. Effortless knows exactly what's up, and now it's just a cat and mouse game tied at 3. Dewey finally dives in, hooks back out. The rockets to shotgun, absolutely fantastic. He gets the frag, but extremely weak. Needs to be careful. If Effortless can get up here, he can make it rain. The LG so strong, he floats him, and that is heartbreaking.
That hook escape was straight up mouth dropping. 40 just in and out. Goes in, hits the rocket, right back out. Such a close encounter. Perfectly executed by Dewey, allowing him to take the lead.
Oh no. Oh no, Effortless left the Mega up for a little bit too long trying to get that frag, but again the Dire Orb comes out and Dewey, he has to be seething after that, but he has to know that Effortless is just going to use those Dire Orbs to melt the last of his stack. Effortless railed off the spawn, very, very weak. It's getting sloppy out here, Flea. This is turning into a bloodbath, and that's why I love Deep Embrace.
It's chaos, all right. Both of these players, of course, fighting for survival in a very, very close series so far. Neither pulling their punches, everyone going all out. So far, Dewey, slight lead. But we're only halfway through this map. Plenty of frags to be had, no doubt. Effortless slowly starting to work on a comeback, and Heavy still up. This is one of the most impressive things that Dewey has been doing this matchup, delaying the items, and not just by a few seconds, but he will completely just leave it up, run around the map, take a center position, apply pressure and do damage, and then go back. And he knows that he can do it because he's playing Athena. He's got that grapple hook to help him out, but he has to remain careful, right? We've seen what Effortless did earlier, 40. Again, just like that, using his orb to steal an item. Can they both stay in? Jumps out of the map, back in, but Effortless takes the stand with the heavy nails, dropping his opponent, slowly closing the gap.
Such a good rail off the spawn too. Dewey playing with fire there. A little bit of rope trickery, but it won't save him. Good rail response from Dewey here as Effortless will grab a 50 shard. That'll help him out a little bit of 25 as well, maybe another one too, but is he going to try and position for this Mega just for damage? Is he going to go for it? After that rocket to rail, he doesn't have a choice. He's trying to max damage before he goes down, but Dewey, nothing doing. The shotgun puts him up by 2.
Oh
Effortless.
No! He's done it, what, 3-4 times already, orbing onto the Mega. This time Dewey was ready, placing a perfect rocket just below his feet and knocking him off the map. Whew. This is a close and tight series. Dewey now, bit more control, but Effortless.
Oh no.
Yeah, that, don't know what happened there. And then off the spawn as well, Effortless. It's all about the damage he can do before dropping dead now, and indeed, he does manage to do a pretty decent amount.
3 minutes left here as Effortless struggling to make that jump. It's so damn tricky here. The rail will miss from Dewey. Actually, the rocket jump coming in clutch, but more LG. That rocket phenomenal, threading it through. But he's so weak. Effortless needs to be careful here. He's going to grab 125. Almost hits the rail on the way out for Dewey. Pressure on Effortless. That's a great rail. He does have the orb to finish, but he doesn't need it. Catches Dewey trying to get out of there. 6 to 10. Plenty of time on a map like Deep Embrace here, especially with rails like that into Dire Orb. Dewey needs to escape, but the rocket won't save him, neither will the hook. Rocket's not doing him any favor as it lands. 3 frags down. This is getting tight, Flea. This is it. This is what Deep Embrace is all about.
Effortless definitely closing the gap a bit, but he isn't securing full control. And I think that that is the biggest issue right now for Yes, he's getting frags, but they are very rarely clean. Dewey always managing to do a substantial amount of damage and often stealing one of the items as well. And Effortless, he needs to start getting those clean, fresh kills. Unless, or well, if else, Dewey's just going to keep doing that. And Effortless now, with just 2 minutes left to work with Dewey, this is getting dire.
It's a really good rail from Effortless, but he needs more as Dewey can just kind of pump the brakes here. There's the Dire Orb again after the hook, and the shotgun's not enough. Dewey capitalizes. The rockets are just too good. And Effortless starting to get a little frustrated here, you could see. He's still got 1:30 left, 5 frags. It's going to be a tall order, but he could do it. He just needs to string them together perfectly, but I don't think Dewey's going to allow it. Actually, he ropes in for the heavy, doing so much damage, and Effortless missing with that rail, and Dewey capitalizes again with the shotgun. And I don't know, it feels like Effortless kind of is conceding this one and saying, let's just go to the second map here as the rail lands. Dewey extremely weak, a couple 25s to stack back up, 1 minute left. 6 frags, that's a lot, Flea.
It is a lot, because even though Effortless has a slight stack advantage, he just doesn't have the mobility, right? We've seen him use the orb to great effect, securing quite a few major items, but also getting tossed off the map, and now you'd need an army, a barrage of orbs for Effortless to tie this back up, and he just doesn't have the time, of course, because it has a significant cooldown in between the ability use. And Dooi is just going to sit up here, hold his ground, and that will be the final nail in the coffin. Dooi will be taking home map 1 successfully too. It was a messy match, it was a tremendous brawl, but especially towards the end, Dooi just ran away with the series.
So that's a big first win for Dewey. As he said, pretty neck and neck for a while until Dewey just got the momentum going, and on Deep Embrace it's so easy to do. Dire Orbs, pretty good from Effortless, but we saw that one where Dewey finally downloaded it and was like, you know what? I know what's going to happen at Mega, and pops him right off the map. Starts gaining momentum, so big first map win for Dewey. Again, both these players playing for their tournament lives, trying to stay alive here. Effortless on the ropes, needs to pull out a little bit of magic here. Hopefully he's got something up that Santa hat. We're going to go over to Molten Falls. It's going to be Galena versus Sorlag. Effortless is going to be on the Galena. If he can get that overstack going and try and hit some rails to mitigate some of that Sorlag stack, there's a chance, Flea. There's a chance. It's never over till it's over.
Oh, absolutely. And Railgun, right? We've seen some very nice shots come out from both of these players so far, and that will be an instrumental weapon of key importance on this next map. If you are going to do anything against the Raging Sorlag that is flying through the map, catching you off guard with that spit, it is having those totems available. Keep yourself nice and healthy, stack up, and then use the Railgun defensively. That will be the game plan.
Yep. Chat, make some noise for our neighborhood Santa. This could be his last sleigh ride. Hopefully not. Hopefully we get to see at least 3 maps, because again, I'm selfish and I love Quake. But Effortless has a tall order. Melting down that Sorlag on Molten Falls is not going to be easy, especially against Dewey. Traditionally, Sorlag players, you know, the need for speed arises, Flea, but I see Dewey playing a lot more calculated, slow of a Sorlag game here, especially if he gets 1 or 2 frag lead on Molten. I feel like he's just going to go into base mode and play hyper defensive. If you get too close, he has the spit to bail him out. Yeah, it could be bad. Effortless needs to get off to a solid start here.
Absolutely, that will be one of the main things for him. We saw what happens when Dewey gets the lead, right? And once again, Dewey has the faster champion. So if it comes down to Effortless having to chase down his opponent, even if Dewey is 2, maybe 3 frags ahead of him, that could be all he needs to just stay clear from his opponent, right? He's got the speed, he's got the stack, he can rocket jump, fly over, do 360s around you before you even know what's going up. And then, if you're playing Galena, that champion with 0 movement abilities, that's going to be incredibly difficult to catch your opponent. So, Dewey, if he can get a bit of a lead, he's in a really good spot. Effortless needs to play this guarded and absolutely hang on to a really close game and hopefully get the first frag or 2 to go his way.
Yep, as we will be loading in momentarily. I hope everyone is doing well in chat. Thanks for sticking with us. A lot of action on the B and A stream today. Whole lot more on the way. And Flea, this is only day 2. This is only day 2. We still have top 8 tomorrow. This is crazy.
Absolutely, and some of the games that we've seen today, I mean, the Hang versus Razy, and now we've got Wenger versus Chain as well. These are like semi-finals of any LAN. You'd be happy to get to see those players in action, and we're already getting them on day 2, so there's surely much more to follow still. As we are setting up this match, Effortless ready to jump into it. Let's see, for those of you just joining us, Effortless lost the first map, which was Deep Embrace, so this is the one that it all depends on. If he wants to stay in the tournament, he has to come out on top this time.
And just an update from the A stream, 3 minutes in, it looks like Wenger is up 3-0 on map number 3 on Shane on Molten Falls. So that's your ESPN ticker update.
I mean, I saw some of the highlights after their game, and Wenger should have already taken that one. I don't know if you saw, but he got 2 disastrous frags by misusing the peeker. I have no clue why he used the peeker the way he did. Up close and personal, 5 seconds left before he would win the map. He had a 1 frag lead, pulls out the peeker with Chain right next to him, and Chain's just like, oh, okay, well, I'll take you down right here. You're sitting next to me. And then second time, 2 minutes into overtime, he does the exact same thing. Peeker cost Wenger that map, so hopefully he has that mental resolve to stay in it as we are getting ready for this one. Effortless is just getting prepared. We are setting everything up, but don't worry. We are about to jump into this matchup. Both players are ready, and here we go. Loading into the map right now. 40, this should be a pretty interesting one.
Yeah, Effortless taking a moment. Again, needs to mentally reset, take a deep breath. This is for all the marbles here. He needs to put up this map and send it to 3. So I don't blame him for taking a second, but we're going to load up shortly. We hear the noises, and chat makes some noises for Effortless, whether you're a Dooi fan or Effortless. I just want to see 3 maps because I'm selfish. So hope everyone's doing well. We could go to 3, but it's all on Effortless and how he plays. Again, with most duels, I feel like the start is the most important, especially against the Sorlag on Molten. So hopefully Effortless can get a strong start, get that totem economy going, and just be a pest against Dooi and that Sorlag.
You know what they say, right? Whoever loses, we, the viewers, win. As even more so if we get to that full 3-game matchup, which might very well happen. Effortless, absolutely not looking to be in bad shape. We saw him dismantle Supreme GTI in his relegation match, so I do think that him beating his opponent Dooi is absolutely feasible. And as you mentioned yourself, 40, bit of a backstory here as well, since it was Dooi who sent Effortless into the relegation dead zone, so for him to get revenge now would be huge.
It would be very, very sweet indeed. Effortless has to start here, though. Down a map already in the set. We're going to start off on him. He's going to get rockets immediately into Mega, and that's always a strong start, as he's going to get that cheeky totem. Oh, it doesn't place exactly where he wanted it. I know the idea, though. He had the right idea, but I think that totem should be sussed out rather quickly from Dooi.
Yeah, no chance in hell that Dooi is not going to pick up on that totem. Effortless, playing a bit of a dangerous, sneaky game, making the right decision and guessing that his opponent isn't going to be bothering with a check down there, and indeed he doesn't. I like how Effortless is playing this, very deliberately going for the hourglasses so he can get that totem at the ready. And I think that that is something that Dooi probably wants to keep in mind. Even if he doesn't always get maximum damage out of his ability, he should be using it liberally. Because if he hangs on to it, there's going to be so many hourglasses, so many time shards for his opponents to make use of and constantly keep those totems coming on.
Absolutely, and Effortless with a perfect read there, but Dooi just a little bit reserved. Effortless would have caught him out for additional rail damage there after that rocket jump. Does have the second totem in the pocket, waiting for him to put that down. He's going to fly on over to the heavy. Lots of LG coming out from Dooi, but now he's cornered. There's the rocket jump up. Dooi has to play this so smart, but he's stuck. This should be a frag for Effortless, but if he keeps rocket jumping, it's going to be bad. The rail will land. Dooi extremely weak. Effortless has him on the ropes.
Nice play from Dooi there, though, using the air control to not just go up the bounce pad, but actually make it all the way to the back of the room, thereby avoiding getting pinned by LG. Yes, he did take a rail, but that could have been so much worse based on the position that he was in. Dooi also doing a very good job at cleaning up these totems. Effortless doesn't have any working for him right now. Dooi will actually suicide, bumping into his opponent's face first. Bit of a smooch on the cheek right there before he takes himself down with the rocket. As Effortless now, very little stack to work with, 0 armor to his name, and Dooi playing Soar like a FIC champion of the spawn. That lizard is looking mighty scary.
Scary indeed here, as this could be a good LG trap. Dooi has to fight from down below. Effortless gets a little bit of damage. He's going to back off. He does have a second totem in the pocket. There's a good rail into totem combo. Dooi, I don't know how he's alive. He's got literally 1 HP, grabs a health bubble up to 26. How is he surviving right now? Back to 52. A little bit better, but man, Effortless was so close to getting that frag. Would have been a 2-frag lead, would have been huge. Still a good start for Effortless, but he needs to be really careful with his next moves as he's weak right now.
Pretty slow-paced game overall. Both players know exactly what is on the line right now. Don't want to overexert himself. Effortless. This time, slightly better setup for the totem, I feel like. But you can clearly tell that Effortless has absolutely no clue when the Mega is spawning. So he decides to leave at B, put himself in a good position with an escape route right next to him. Maybe he can catch a glimpse of the item being picked up. Maybe he can hear it too. Now he's all the way on the other side of the map. He still will not have a single clue about when the Mega is up. Fortunately for him though, dooi does go through that teleporter. That should allow him to kind of guesstimate when that item has just been picked up. But Effortless is just playing a very careful game right now, just sitting at the top of this teleporter. Good rocket.
Big rocket. Effortless playing it slow, and I like it. Dooi doing a good job with the totems here. Ooh, cheeky totem there. I think Razy was the one who did that first. Well, the first one I saw was from Razy there. Who knows who invented that one, Flea? I'm sure I'll get flack for that, as someone will be like, actually, it was this player at this time. But, nonetheless, fantastic totem from Effortless. I would like to see him try and get more totems down. Still hasn't had overstack. Dooi doing a good job of making sure that doesn't happen. The rail after the LG tickle will miss, as Effortless trying to position on this Mega needs to be careful. Dooi does have the spit. Dinosaur incoming as the rails exchange from players. Second totem in the pocket here is Effortless trying to defend this heavy. It's not going to be up for 10 seconds, though.
Good things that Azex isn't costing with you. He would have been like, oh yeah, I invented that one back in 1981 when I was
Exactly, but
Grand
actually, how
Champion.
dare you, you simpleton, and then I'd cry. But nevertheless, it doesn't matter what the Ghost of Christmas Past thinks. It's you and I, Flea, here. As...
It is us. For the we are taking it all the way today. Dooi, aggressive push right there. Definitely with a nice stack advantage. If he can land the rail, Effortless is in so much trouble. But Effortless will duck underneath it, and the Nemesis player won't land the shot. 3 totems
there it
up.
is, the overstack. Yeah. Effortless looking stronger and stronger, as Dooi is absolutely Effortless's nemesis. He wants to be able to say that, you know, you sent me to relegation, I sent you home. But it's got to start with this map. A firm frag lead, and is there a timeline? I feel like slowly but surely Effortless is just trying to play this like Dooi would. 1 frag lead, hit and run. I'm going to play hyper defensive, make you come to me. I'm going to use that line of sight, keep railing you here. Drops down for the Mega. This should be a frag, and he gets it. And that was so close, though. 27 HP, very risky. He needs to find one of his totems to try and restack. But Effortless takes a 2 frag lead. Oh my god, what a rail from Dooi!
Too overzealous. He was blinded just by the potential of picking up that item, or his own totem rather, and getting that safety stack. And in doing so, he just threw caution to the wind. And he ended up paying for it. Now still he has a 1 frag lead, but Dooi is dictating the pace of the game right now. He's got the stack advantage. Health, armor, everything is working for Dooi. He's got all the weapons too. Effortless does manage to secure at least the Holy Trinity. That's a nice little rail right there as well. Good amount of damage from Effortless. But Dooi doesn't care. Goes up, and it is the wrong decision to rocket jump up. Effortless holding his ground, taking his opponent down. Dooi looking a little bit worrisome right now.
Oh, and here comes the push. Relentless and Effortless takes himself out and says, you know what, Dooi did it, I'm going to do it too. Imitation is the sincerest form of flattery, but Effortless flies back in and takes this heavy. Actually, Dooi hot on his heels. Okay, he's going to double back. I thought we were going to get non-stop action here, Flea.
Just like they spawn, they rush in, they get a frag. And let's repeat that 3 times in a row. Now Dooi, hang on, overextending. Effortless, good positional play. Dooi, not sure what the thought process was there. Maybe he figured that Effortless wouldn't chase him all the way. Maybe he thought that Effortless would go across the top, and that rail, that is such a bad shot to miss. So easy too. Can he clean up the lizard? This should be Effortless. And indeed he does. 4-0. Dooi, this is crunch time. He needs to put in the effort right now, or otherwise Effortless will be the one tying it right back up.
That rocket not landing, but Effortless out of rockets. Can't really try again. Dooi needs to make something happen here. The rockets won't land. The swap to rail is good. Will he hit another one? He won't, but Dewey is extremely weak. Effortless has a totem. Moreover, he has time on his side. Up 4, 2 minutes left. It's looking more and more like we're going to go all 3, Flea.
Sure is, 40. Close game. This is not. We're kind of seeing the same thing we saw on map 1 right now. It's just the opposite. Both players starting off rather respectfully. Very close game, a 1-2 frag difference. But then all of a sudden, Effortless managing to string together a few frags, and he does so by taking a page from Dewey's book and playing a very defensive game himself, because Dewey pushes in, and Effortless is just standing there, always with an escape route behind him, always in a good position where he minimizes the damage that he takes, and then uses a good barrage of LG on Dewey just blindly jumping around the corner, or a nice little well-placed rail shot to buy himself a lot of time and breathing room. And now with a minute left, Dewey, he needs to bring a miracle, right? Both of these players from Texas, everything is big there. So are the miracles. And Dewey, first frag of what would be a gorgeous comeback if he can make it happen.
It's going to be tight here. 1 minute left, and Dewey has to be perfect. Effortless backing away. He's going to hold his ground with the LG, awaiting the onslaught from Dewey, but Dewey has to find him. Effortless playing this well. He doesn't have to commit to any side of the map. Just play off the sound cues. Just be ready. LG out. But there's Dewey right on his heels. There are the rockets, and he gets the frag. 30 seconds left to get 2 more.
Mega spawns at just the right time for Dewey as well, but Heavy is definitely favoring Effortless, who even secures an LG without having to work for it. That weapon was still just laying there. Effortless, he should take this fight. He should just push this one. Yeah,
Spit comes
Dewey
out
jumping down, that's the end. Dewey needed to force that particular fight to have any shot at winning. GGs are about to be called. That final rocket will indeed still connect, and Effortless ties it right back up. Santa hat and all, he is happy as he has one more shot, one final opportunity. Is it going to be Mum Spaghetti, or will he move on through the lower bracket? 40. This is exciting, man.
I can't take it. My heart hurts. He made a list. He checked it twice. Dewey was on it, but it's going to go to map number 3. It's going to be Corrupted Keep, Keel versus Doom.
Yep.
Doom is a bit of a weird pick. It's not super common on CK, but maybe Dewey has a little something. It is super useful to get that double jump and kind of jump over the rockets, but I imagine Effortless loves his LG anyway, so that shouldn't be that big of an issue. But this is for all the marbles. Go on all 3. Everyone in chat, make some noise, be it Dewey or Effortless. One of these players is going to go home probably eating a lot of Whataburger. I would imagine if I was in Texas, I would be eating a lot of Whataburger. But yeah, this is for tournament life right here.
Indeed, the final one. This will decide whoever moves on and who will drop out of the tournament. And both of these players clearly are closely matched. Very little difference between Effortless and Dewey. And as you said yourself, right, bit of a strange pick. We don't very often see the Doomslayer with his double jump being used on Corrupted Key, but there are a few useful areas where that ability can still shine, mainly thinking around the Mega, where you can very easily just get out of that very scary and risky pit where the Mega health spawns, so that might favor Dewey. But on the other hand, Keel has been kind of an MVP pick this tournament, right? We've seen so many players make excellent use of him. We've seen The Hang do it well, we've seen Chain do it well, we've seen Rafa use him to great effect too, if I'm not mistaken. So clearly, those players have been using this champion very effectively.
Those pineapples can go a long way, Flea, and Effortless is going to need every bit of citrus served up so he can serve his revenge cold to Dewey. Knocking him out of the tournament would be probably a fantastic feeling. I don't know. Staying alive, knocking out the person that sent you to relegation from the head-to-head, it's just gets better and better if Effortless can put up this W.
Yeah, this would be some sweet revenge, and that is, of course, best served cold with a big pineapple grenade to the face. As we are loading into the final map of this series, whoever wins this moves on. It is Corrupted Keep, very small map. And 40, based on what we've just seen, how much of a messy, chaotic brawl the previous fights were, Corrupted Keep is a map that just amplifies that and takes it to the next level, right?
Oh, I'm super excited. There's no rail. It's close quarters the whole way. Lots of rockets. Rail is gone. LG going to be there electrifying, and then machine gun, but that's all you really get. We'll see. We'll see. Tribolt, of course, but, you know, I like rockets. I like LG. We'll see how these players feel about it. But this is it. Tournament life for dooi and Effortless. The winner advances. The loser stays home and is out of the tournament.
Of course, Super Shotgun might also play crucial part on this map. I think that we're going to see dooi used at a fair bit.
I like that play. He burned a pineapple just to steal away those time vials.
Yeah.
Cheeky little play from Effortless there.
Though I don't quite see the value in this particular situation, because you know that your opponent is still just sitting on that Berserk.
Yeah.
And very unlikely to see that ability used more than maybe once or twice a map. But still, you know, it's good to get into the motion of doing it, right? And trying to deny those hourglasses to your opponent, no matter who you're up against. It's just riding the waves, getting used to doing it, so that it becomes sort of an automatic response. And Effortless, doing more than just playing on autopilot, good amount of damage dealt to dooi. Unfortunately for him, those grenades kind of backfired, locking himself out of the room, unable to push in further. And dooi, hyper-aggressive on the rush right there, is actually going to give Effortless a freebie.
He did good damage with the machine gun, just couldn't get close enough to get that last shotgun blast. The LG from Effortless too strong, a little bit more of a tickle here. Dooi does grab the Mega. Effortless needs to be careful. He's waiting for that lower 50 shard in the red room. He's going to be able to grab it. Plenty of time to make his way towards heavy, but here's the LG fight. The shotgun pineapple's not landing. dooi able to melt him down. Ties it at 1.
I think Effortless was kind of hoping to pick up his own super shotgun. He like ran up to it, turned the corner, saw that dooi just picked up his own gun, and he was like, well, if that's how you're gonna play it, I'm out. I don't want anything to do with it. And he's just going to retreat to fight another day. dooi clearly outstacked, drops for the small armor, but it doesn't spawn in time. And Effortless, all the pineapples after ready, set up for Mega. Mega not spawning for another 10 seconds. Does he know the time? Doesn't need to. Heavy machine gun will clean it up. Oh, he's gotta back up out of there. Too late to reverse. Effortless, careless jumping into the room like that. Should have just held position on Mega instead. But of course, hindsight is 2020 and talk is cheap.
It's just a brutal spawn there for Effortless. I'm sure he was shaking his head at that red room spawn. Still has the 1 frag lead, but a little bit unnerving in terms of control here, as he is going to try and fight for this Mega from down under. Heavy machine gun out. dooi using that double jump in and out of that small armor shard. Very well played, making sure he doesn't take a lot of damage, but he's going to fall down, lands a lot of rockets. The LG swap's going to be good, and dooi's going to convert that and get the Mega.
Effortless, meanwhile, spawning over towards the heavy side of the map. Looking good, tremendous amount of stack of the spawn, already stronger than dooi, but he needs the weapons. That is what he's lacking right now. Does secure himself the LG. He needs more than that. He wants rockets as well. Heavy machine gun preferably, still going to take this engagement. Both players are going to go for the committal. dooi doing most of the damage. Effortless though has the health bubbles behind him, but he doesn't have the heavy machine gun, doesn't need it either. And he secures himself a really close frag. Both of the major items spawning. Effortless should secure heavy. Is dooi going to want to pressure this?
A big play there from Effortless. Grabbing that outer health bubble and going back into the fight with the machine gun to finish it off. Takes the 1 frag lead again. dooi just lying in wait. He hears the time vials. He knows exactly where Effortless is, but Effortless doing a good job of not committing to anything because he knows something's up.
Effortless, dooi, both slow playing it. Are we seeing a real change of pace? Are we moving away from the brawl? Effortless, hyper aggressive right now, doesn't even bother picking up those final health bubbles. Is just going after dooi like a bull when the red flag has been waved around. He wants damage, he wants frags. He is not content with this 1-point lead. He wants to convert it into more than just that, but he doesn't have the heavy machine gun, and dooi peppers him effectively. Every single peek is favoring dooi right now, and Effortless kind of zoned himself out of Mega, taking too much damage in these long-distance engagements that he had no business taking with the weapons he had.
Just getting peppered every single turn from dooi, doing it a really good job here. As LG on LG, is the pineapple going to land? The rocket swap's good, and the follow-up is fantastic right in the chest. 5 HP. Effortless needs to stack back up. Almost takes out with the nail here is dooi with that red room spawn again, and Effortless just not expecting it. Needs to be a little more careful after the frag. Dewey's just going to dive in this knowing that he's weak, and he's going to take that frag halfway through. One frag game, Flea. This one is close.
Indeed it is. Absolutely anyone's game at this point. The Rockets have to be good. First one was, second not quite. LG on machine gun and Effortless. Overstaying his welcome, he thought he had that one in the bag and pushed it beyond the breaking point, at which point dooi just slapped him right back and said, "Not today, brother. This is my frag." As he's already setting up for the heavy. I like that push from dooi, not waiting on the item, but going through the teleport to try and zone his opponent out. As we are tied back up 5-5.
Nice little movement play there from dooi. Trying to get some mileage out of that nail gun. Again, swap to heavy. All that damage is going to add up. Somehow the tri-bolt not landing any damage. It stacks about even here. dooi trying to position on this mega. It looks like right on time here. Still a little wary of his opponent where he could be. There's the drop down. He sees it. Doesn't land any damage there, so that's going to be a free heavy for Effortless. Dead even at 5, 6 minutes in. Tension rising here as one of these players will be knocked out of the tournament.
And we're really going to start seeing things slow down a bit now, 40. Both of these players, they know that if they throw away any frags carelessly now, it could absolutely be devastating. And they don't want that. They want this to be a collected game where they take the opportunity that they know they have a really good shot at winning and just running away with the scoreline. Look at both of these players' stacks, though. That just shows how much respect they're giving each other, right? Both of them overstacked on both Mega and Heavy. Very rare sight in the Quake Pro League, especially on a map this small. And that only happens when you allow both of the players to just pick up a lot of the items without a lot of damage being exchanged, because they are sticking to their own guns, waiting for the perfect opportunity.
dooi playing that hyper defensive game so well. Not taking any damage here. Wants to keep whatever stack he can, and he's going to be able to double back onto the heavy as Effortless moves on to the mega. 7:30 and now still tied at 5. Both players playing so patiently. They need the perfect opportunity to capitalize on. Again, tournament life on the line here. No mistakes. You cannot flub this away. So much on the line right now.
dooi, it's got a bit of a lead when it comes to damage. Around 700 points of damage up on his opponent. Now if we look at the item pickups, that just reflects how balanced this game has been. 40. 10 heavies, 4 megas for Effortless, and the exact opposite for his opponent dooi. Now LG on LG, dooi has the better stack, but Effortless also dealing with that larger hitbox. He knows he can't stick around for this one, but actually dooi, perhaps not really fully aware of just how low Effortless was, decides to leave the room, vacate the situation, look for another deal. Because both of these players know 40, 90 seconds left to go. Any frag they give up now could very well be the last one.
Items traded, luckily for Effortless. He was very, very weak, but he still doesn't have any armor. And like you said, less than 90 seconds now. Do we see a sudden death here, Flea? dooi hears the armor. Could get the drop on him, just waiting for that perfect opportunity for a rocket. He lets Effortless pass underneath. He's trying to stalk his prey from above. There's the drop. The rocket right in his face. The machine gun follow-up. Effortless in a bad way right now, going to the boneyard. Could that be his final resting place? dooi hears the jump pad, but now it's all a matter of the reads. But he turns around and he loses the mega.
dooi getting hammered with LG. Using that mobility though, getting away. Effortless wants to chase this, pushing through the choke point. Not the right call. Rocket to the face and another one! Precise out of nowhere! And another to the face. Effortless taking so much damage at a crucial point. dooi keeping it so close. 40, one frag of a lead. Effortless can't push, he doesn't have LG. can't take any of these fights. Do we know this? That's why he's taking this position. He can win. And the medium distant fight. Now Effortless slipping on by, picking up Mega and the lightning gun.
15 seconds. Dewey's just going to kneel and take this victory. Effortless has to push no matter what the situation. Here it is. This is the last hurrah for Effortless. Can he catch Dewey? Dewey just so elusive with that double jump. He's going to go to the jump pad. One more rocket. Doesn't connect, but it doesn't matter. Dewey has stolen this away from Effortless. Those rockets in the clutch. So huge. Hit him with the huge damage. Took the lead, and that was incredible, Flea.
Very, very close game. That was either one's win until the very last second. For a moment there, it looked as if Dewey was completely out of luck. He was watching the Mega for seconds, and then the moment he turns away, Effortless drops on it, steals it, does a lot of damage in the back. But still, those rockets from Dewey, as well as the movement, Effortless just made a mistake trying to push through the choke point. And I think that is just one of those things that still differentiates players like Effortless that are generally more towards the bottom of the scoreboards with the likes of Rafa, right? You never would see Rafa go for that. He absolutely didn't do enough damage to warrant a push blindly through a choke point after taking self-damage with the rocket jump up. Dewey was nowhere near critically low to fall for that. And Effortless just kind of messed it up right there.
Very close set from these two. It's heartbreaking if you're an Effortless fan. Valiant effort, but he just comes up a little bit short. That's going to be the end of the line for him. We're going to send him off. But Dewey stays alive. He's going to have a tough road ahead in the lower bracket as it's just getting harder and harder. The killers are down there, and they all want to make it back up to the top. They want their name on that belt. But end of the line for Santa Claus. He can have as many gifts as he wants, but he's no longer going to have presence in the tournament. And I think that's going to be it for us. I think Stream A has Cypher and Rafa going on right now.
Yeah,
we should be somewhere. I don't know. Schedule's hectic, but chat, love you guys. Thank you for staying tuned to A and B. A lot more quick action today, but we're out for now.